few seconds.
Okay.
Let's go.
So hello everybody. Welcome to Uroboros Festival. This is our last for the day of the festival, and I'm so happy that I can introduce a performance called CHIMORONA, which will be performed by the Aptive collective and Chimera. Aptive is a group of nomad space that foments critical thinking, potential actions, communication, and otherness. What is typical for this collective is that they meet together and read together and discuss recent topics and interests. Chimera is a transdisciplinary community-based platform that supports a heterogeneous platform-based community. Chimera fosters a fertile ground for collective project and runs a publishing platform. So guys, I'm very happy that you are part of Uroboros. Floor is yours. Welcome.
So I start to introduce myself. My name is Cille Wojcik. You can call me CW. And yeah, what can I say? I grew up in China, which is a little bit weird, but my parents moved there. I couldn't say anything about it. And we moved to fucking Nanning. They worked there. And yeah, when I was 6, we moved to the countryside. And first I hated it, you know, but yeah, it turns out animals are better friends than humans. So I hung out a lot with the animals. There were a lot of goats, and that was pretty nice. I liked to going out and walk around with them, chill with them. And also I had little ducks, and sometimes they would jump on my lap and just be there with me. And it was hard to get friends, but the ducks and the goats, they were always there for me. Yeah, I really like playing with them, but yeah, one day my brother caught me while I was sticking just a little carrot, you know, just a little carrot into this goat's pussy, and he caught me and he beat up the shit out of me, and told my parents and stuff. And yeah, but at this time it was already addiction for me to fuck animals, you know, so I just had to run away. So I went from farm to farm. You know, woofing, you can easily go to farms, you can woof and go to farms, and then they have all kinds of animals. So it's crazy. And yeah, then this fucking COVID-19 started and I couldn't do it anymore. So I thought I could just go to Europe, because in Italy they have this really nice cow breed. It's Janina. They're really beautiful. So I continued in Italy, you know, they also have woofing and farms. It's awesome, nice cows. And yeah, but then this COVID started there also. And I anyways got into a lot of trouble with this fucking animals. And yeah, I thought maybe it's time to stop. So I found a decent therapist, and now I'm, yeah, in Vienna. I think that's it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hamada Zayan. I'm 34 years old and I work as a psychotherapist. My field of specialization are sexual disorders. And yeah, I work since 6 years in a hospital in this specific field, which I really, really like. I think it's very interesting and fascinating. And yeah, I'm very dedicated and passionate about my work. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of Jacques Lacan. I don't know if you know him. And actually, I have kind of a favorite quote by him, which really inspired me during my studies, which I would like to share with you. And it says, to love means to give something that you don't possess to someone who doesn't exist. And yeah, I think it's a really interesting quote, and I appreciate his work a lot. And yeah, so far about my professional background. I would also like to share with you something about my private life. I have a daughter, and I live with her and 2 life partners and my mother together in the US. It sometimes, yeah, gets heated, the situation, since we are 5 women living together, and yeah, also with my daughter, sometimes relationship gets complicated. Since she's a teenager, she's very rebellious and wants to try everything out and stuff. But yeah, I really love her and appreciate her, and I think that's what counts, right? And I also really appreciate to live only with women, because it feels kind of living in a matriarchy a bit, which is pretty cool. And yeah, what else can I tell you about me? Maybe how I got infected. It's like a bit embarrassing, the story, but I will share it though. I was having a session with a client, and well, then this client went to the bathroom, and I was sitting there waiting for my client to come back. And there was his glass of water, and I was like, I'll just take a little sip, you know. And yeah, I guess that's how I got infected. And it's kind of, yeah, a fetish of mine, because I really like my work and my family and stuff, but though my life is very organized and structured, and there's this little moments where I can like take a sip of a client's glass, and it just makes me feel like I can let go of everything. And yeah, so that's how I got here. And yeah, besides all circumstances, I'm glad to meet you all, and yeah, I hope we can have a harmonic coexistence in here. Yeah, so far about me.
Hello, everyone. I don't really know how to start. Like, it has always been hard for me to talk in real life, and yeah, that's why I hardly had any friends in high school, you know. I grew up in a small town just with my mom, and because of my social anxieties, I ended up playing games most of the time, and occasionally I shitpost on 4chan, and that's basically what I've been doing for the last 10 years. So anyways, one day I was like playing World of Warcraft like every other day, and then my guild leader, he decided, yeah, he's gonna change his life, become a chat, fuck girls, stop gaming and all that shit, you know? And it really inspired me. So I also wanted to try that, and he recommended me to order dumbbells and a sex robot. But after some time working out, like a week or so, I realized like working out will not make you into an alpha male, you know. You will always be a genetically inferior male, and women will always go for alpha males. So I kind of gave up on the working out, but I continued having fun with the sex robot. And yeah, shortly after, I could already feel like that I get some symptoms of COVID, like I couldn't smell anymore and I couldn't taste anything, and I had a slight cough, but it was not too bad. But you know, I have done a lot of research online, and I knew I was going to die anyways. So I was basically at the rock bottom of my life. But then on the next day, I got a message, and the message said, welcome to the COVID-19 club. Follow this link. That's what I did. So I got to this homepage, and then they say that their mission, like, the earth is dying, we are the virus, humanity has to be extinguished. And I was here for it, you know, like I was ready to go out, lick every elevator button in this fucking town. Like I finally had a mission, you know. But yeah, like a few moments later, my mom came in with her newspapers in her hand, and like she showed me this article. Yeah, there were like 500 COVID cases linked to sex robots, and yeah, then she decided to send me into quarantine. That's basically it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Leah Larman, or you can just call me YLL. I'm an artist, one of the elements of the Landmass Collective. We mostly operate in Berlin. Yeah, and our latest project was COVID-19 Russian roulette. and I did not care who of the people in the collective would even get it, Like, I think we live in a fascinating world where so many complex, interconnected processes are occurring. And, I'm interested in it as a vast mass that I can shape and use in my artistic practice. Yeah, but, in the end, I lost. Yeah, I got Corona, but like, I didn't even care, life is meaningless, whatever. Like, I just do art about it. And, and I also had this thought of me being the first artist to use coronavirus as material. I would be making art history. And then also imagining all those pictures that people would take of me being in the white cube with no food, no internet, starving, suffering, coughing, kind of looking like going insane a bit. Yeah, I just really, the pictures, I don't know. I just saw them and I knew that this is my mission. I have to do this. Yeah, so in the end, I locked myself in the gallery space in Vienna, and everything was streamed online on different media platforms. Yeah, but I didn't expect that the panic about the virus would get so big. Like, when did Corona even become a thing? Yeah, and then on the third day of my performance, some concerned people called the police, and yeah, that's how I got here.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Marina Förster. I'm from Vienna. I'm 28 years old and I am a doctor specified in medical virology and microbiology. Over the last years, I was working in different university clinics in Middle Europe, researching on different topics. And I was involved, for example, in the research about a vaccine for the SARS, the severe acute respiratory syndrome outbreak a few years ago, which is actually quite similar to the coronavirus as we have it now. And actually, I was very close to be the first one to having developed a cure for it, but the state turned off the stream of cash at one point because they apparently didn't recognize the potential of our research laboratory back then. Well, and now different to the SARS, the thing, coronavirus, it doesn't only affect the population in China, but the entire globe, apparently. And I'm very determined to be faster working on the vaccine this time. And well, it's the only thing that will help us get the situation under control. I mean, to find out how to hack this pulmonary disease. Yeah, it's fascinating how a small, tiny biological organism can infiltrate and disturb a huge biological machine like the human body. I think we as scientists, as experts, we have the responsibility and of course the knowledge to work on that as dedicated as possible for the good. Well, but the problem is that sometimes finding the solution can last a very long time. So when we already have tried like 100 different chemicals and already existing meds, I was so annoyed of the process already. And then I was lying in bed at home after a long day of work and thought about a solution. And then I decided to just get infected myself, to be able to take samples from my own blood, and to get to see how this virus actually affects the body. And after 1 week, I started noticing the symptoms already. And honestly, I didn't expect them to be so strong. I think they triggered many other immunological issues, but I don't know. My colleagues in the lab, they also got suspicious quite soon, of course, because I was coughing all the time. They were forcing me into doing a test. And then, of course, they kicked me out of the lab. I mean, I can't really blame them for not wanting to get sick, but I sure can't blame them for not being dedicated enough to their occupation as doctors. I mean, I feel like this is betraying society. It's neglecting your duty as a doctor to humanity. Yeah, I think this really needs to be taken seriously, and people have to recognize that this is urgent. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Andrew Gatsby. You can call me AG. I'm from Atlanta. I worked as a airport security officer there. And yeah, the rules at the airport were already quite strict at the beginning of February. And yeah, pretty much when there wasn't all this craze already, there was already some kind of measures at the airport. So airport staff would sleep there at the airport, and it was fucking boring, but somehow I also was happy to not be at home with my pill addicted wife. And yeah, well, I miss my kid, but yeah, it's a bit of a difficult time in our marriage. So there was this plane from Wuhan with a pretty cute Italian pilot. And yeah, I guess I made some mistake. I ended up in bed with her. And yeah, at that time I didn't know, or yeah, it wasn't yet known that in Italy it would go so crazy with this coronavirus. So a few days after we had sex, I started noticing some symptoms. So yeah, I immediately was quite in panic because I don't know if you know the US healthcare system, you just can't afford it. I mean, if my wife or my kid would get corona, I couldn't forgive myself. So I bribed some colleagues at the airport to get a flight to Europe and apply for refugee status. Yeah, and right now I'm just waiting here. I don't really want to be here. I miss my country. I love my country. I love my job, and yeah, I don't really know what this is going to turn out like. Like, how long is this going to take? The economy is going down. So yeah, I guess that's about it about me.
Hello everybody. My name is HX, and the X in my name stands for the mystery. I actually made this name myself 10 years ago when I, started to feel those like energies, those natural energies. And also I started to hear more myself and what my body tells me. And, I found out some awful truths from my field. Those politicians, doctors, scientists, the people in control are not telling us the truth. So when this corona came, I was like, really? First, you wanna just 5G us, just penetrate us with your radioactive radiations. This is, by the way, when I built it myself, this wood bunker. So no 5G, no G, no even OG can even come here. I'm safe. And with this corona thing, I was like, no. You want us controlled just more. You want us not together. You want us not to touch each other. I will tell you one thing. Me and my friends from the gardening club, we went to this awesome festival and we were no keeping distance. We were one night standing each other, we were touching each other, we were holding some transparent together and telling our truth. It was neat. There was like 10,000 people all together, just like feeling each other. And you know, I didn't get sick because this all Corona thing is just one big hoax.
Hey philosophers, P9O.K. is in the club. I'm an interpreter. I'm also a former manager, and I'm a founder of my own prosperous company. I don't really like to talk about my past because, you know, I've achieved everything I have now on my own. It's nothing to do with my parents or with my family in general. Yeah, but I'll tell you a story that happened to me a while ago. I was a little bit stressed out because, you know, all these business strategies require a lot of energy. And I decided that I have to hang out a little bit. Party, techno party. And at that time, I found out what Berghain was. So I decided, okay, I have to go there and party. But in the meantime, all this Corona shit happened, and I didn't really care about it because, you know, who cares? Tickets were so cheap and breakfast was included. So I finally went there, and yeah, I had fun. But only one thing I'll tell you guys you didn't have to do in Berlin. You didn't have to sniff ketamine from someone's asshole because, you know, you can contract some diseases like AIDS or Corona. But yeah, of course I didn't do that. I'm not that stupid. But somehow I contracted this disease, and I went back home, and I realized half of my family is finally dead. I was happy about that, but then cops came and they just grabbed me and they told me that I'll stay with some other guys in some quarantine thing. Yeah, but yeah, again, you didn't have to just use all these drugs like ketamine and cocaine and crackine. I don't know. You'd better use protein because I sell protein.
Hey MS, you can go in front. I don't have time because time is money, but you can pay me back afterwards.
Hi, my name is Maria, and my mother, I'm stuck with her right now, which is really shitty. But usually I like live in Berlin and I have my super high life there. I really love it. I'm like the new face of this cyberpunk shooting show and like fashion model, which is called Toxic Wormhole. And I had like my super nice life. I'm in my teens. I wanted to party and go crazy. And then I get like, I was like partying in some bunker party, like a cyberpunk bunker party. That's what I like. And I felt like super weak after that for some weird reason. Like, I mean, yeah, partying can get you a bit weak, but it felt like different and normal. And I got like this super weird text, like, welcome to the Corona Club. And I had to follow this link, but I'm like very suspicious about that. So I tried to Google what it was to find more out about this. Well, yeah, and then they tracked me down and like stuck me in this hellhole with my mom, and now I'm stuck with her, and actually I don't want to be here. I would rather like be partying in Berlin, of course, but yeah. Guess I have to get through that now.
Hey, I'm ready. Well, my history is a history of success. And I would call myself like this Wall Street millionaire, you know. I always felt where the opportunity is. I know how to make money. I mean, 2008 hit me really hard, but you know, some fuck ups happens. You know, it's just like you start somewhere else and you go up again. And I feel like this whole thing right now is just a new opportunity I can take like advantage of. I mean, I guess I had some fuck ups in like shelters, so I felt sick, but thanks getting here, I just feel like I can make some good friendships here, you know, and like get back to the old good 1997. Looking forward, but I don't know. Let's see how these people are because I don't really care.
Okay, so what do you need help for, HX?
Yes, I have heard these horrible stories, and I would like to help with understanding what was wrong with the animal guy. I mean, he obviously was vaccinated into the point that his brain got all fucked up. This is what you doctors want to do with this corona thing, that you want to just vaccinate us? Yes, it's true, right? Everybody wants to just vaccinate us, ordinary people.
Do you want to die?
No,
And
I want to live.
wear a
I want to live
mask?
freely.
Can you wear a mask, please? Would be
I'm
good.
not sick.
Can you?
I'm not
Can
sick.
you?
For the
Oh,
case of it, I will wear a mask, all right?
Do you think
Just for
toilet paper is
because I
enough?
care about you.
You're fucking egoistic.
Can you get a proper mask, please? I don't want to hear your conspiracy shit.
We are here together. It's a support
We're all in
group.
this together in this
Come
support.
on.
You can't just wander around and like we all have to wear one and you're not.
I'm wearing a mask.
That's how it works. Put
I'm
it
wearing-
over your nose.
You don't need to have a covered nose. With this corona is hoax. You don't need to have a covered anything. Only thing you need to do is open your mind and stop listening to the real truth out there. To be more sensitive.
Your mind is so open, I can literally hear the air going through it, you know?
Said
Oh,
that.
don't mind like that.
All this work and no play makes AP a dull boy.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean?
You are going crazy because of your wife, and this is
I'm crazy.
what happens to you also with your wife. She got medicated from those pills from doctors. Is that right?
My wife is none of your fucking business.
It's
This
the
guy.
business of us all.
Who said business?
You said business. Yeah, you're big in business, right?
I am.
I found it quite interesting when you said. I'm looking for some like I'd like to launch a startup or something. Yeah.
Why would you launch a startup if you can join just me, you know?
Yeah.
What are you doing, C9? What's your company doing?
I've told you, I'm selling protein cocktails.
to protein addicted guys.
And what does that do for humanity? Like it
Oh,
only
you know,
profits you, no? Like
No, of course, I help people. I help people. I enhance their health. I just help them.
You
I
should
don't
try
think you will
support.
help sick people with a fucking protein shake. If you're interested in business, then help me find a solution. Help me
I would be up
develop-
for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, my protein shakes, they actually, you just have to try them first.
They're good for your bone structure.
I
But
call
maybe we can
bullshit
do
on that.
both, you know? Maybe you can do both, like, doctor, hey, like, maybe you can just tune the protein in another way, no? And we can
I
do
don't
both
think so.
protein and
I-
vaccine at the same time.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that
about
was my point.
infection.
Make it big.
Multitask.
But if you really
Oh.
want to make money, then you should invest in research, you know? Then you can also help humanity. And I don't know, it's the only thing that makes sense.
The only thing that makes
I
sense,
agree with you.
the only thing that
The
makes
fastest.
sense is that everybody just get an animal, and then we can social distancing because you have love, you have the animals, you can just be with the animal, and then we don't have to be with humans anymore. That's then the solution is then the corona can't spread anymore, and we're all safe. We
You're
just
fucking
Right.
forward.
Natural selection.
How did it get?
Hey, I'm sorry, but where do you think the virus came from?
A laboratory from you, in particular you.
Yeah, it was the lizards for sure. Fucking lizard people up there.
ZV,
Right.
what's your, could you please tell more about your relationship with animals? Like, what are your favorite animals, and how did you actually get to the point to like stick a carrot inside of a
I
goat?
mean, it wasn't like, you know, it was with all this moving and being in China and not being from China, it was really hard to make friends. And then, yeah, I just cut it with the animals in the beginning. But then when I got a little bit older, I just started, you know, to get really like hot between my legs whenever I touched animals, and they were so warm, and it was just easy. So first I started with the rabbits and the ducks and put them between my legs, and then that wasn't enough anymore, and I enjoyed putting stuff into my pussy, so I thought the animals would also enjoy it.
That's exactly what happens when you let people just move wherever they want to. That's all this liberal bullshit. People move someplace outside of their culture, and what happens? They get fucking nuts.
It was
I'm-
not.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
I think you
I
two
think
guys,
so.
DW and Anilex, said you just have to socialize somehow. Probably you need to drink protein cocktails. You know, they'll boost up your energy and you'll be able to communicate with people.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, before I communicate with you, okay, or with you, B, I'd rather stick some more carrots into animal pussies.
I mean,
would
I
have
think that's
one-
some fucked up shit, but I mean, at least she doesn't have to interact with females, no? Still better to have
She's-
to be surrounded by animals than females.
She's a female. What are you talking about, man?
That's true. Maybe she's also fucked. I don't know.
Hey, why are you all so negative? We're all here together to like, come on, it's a support group. We need to support each other, not to lynch on each other.
Yes, you're right.
But I can support you. You want to find a girlfriend, right?
This is a big opportunity, yes. We should take advantage of this, you know? Like the vaccine, that's the big thing.
Yeah, advantage is the only point is to find a vaccine. You got it.
The vaccine for what? For something that doesn't exist? Doctor? For the
Put on your mask!
Put your fucking
I got
Whatever mask that is. And have you never looked through a microscope? Have you never? I can't believe it. That's so ridiculous.
Is your HX, is your mask against also the 5G waves?
Yes, it's unpenetrable mask. This is the mask against penetration from radiation and radioactive.
That's why your internet is so shitty, because you don't want to fight too.
Because some things are real here and some are not. Here, I got fucked. I'm sorry that I've been not present for a while, but I had to get some facts. Yes, this book, can you see this book? In this book, on the page 16, 30, and 554, we can find here, I read, doctor, Corona is not real. Here, you got it.
Who does say that? What are the
If somebody
sources
writes
of
in
this
a book, you
research?
believe the bullshit. Anybody can write a book.
I agree on that.
I mean,
You know, we can do nothing about China keeping information away from us, like medical data, important information, but we can certainly try to not lose trust in the integrity of scientific medical health institutions like the WHO, for example.
Now you are
Otherwise, we will drift
speaking.
into believing ridiculously simple-minded theoreticians like you do. You're only confusing people with that shit and causing them to become careless about wearing the freaking masks and gloves. And you're totally responsible for deaths, you know that?
wait a moment. Wait a moment.
Me?
I think it was a good decision that our president got out of the WHO. We paid a shitload of money for that. We didn't get any good from it.
I like.
No.
True, man. You're totally true.
Itself, it's times like that. It may sound harsh, but that's reality. Deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you agree, C10?
Yeah, totally, man. We're gonna bring it back there.
You
and you can get back to your children. You can get back to your children, make it big again. You have to keep it positive. This is a big opportunity.
I'm quite positive overall. What would you work in C10?
What?
Well, you know, different businesses every time, something else. I'm fast, you know. I'm not staying. I'm not staying on one spot. It's too risky.
Like, what's your newest project?
I'm totally up for this vaccine stuff, you know. I think like you know, like okay, AG, we can just get together, doctor, and make this vaccine stuff real, you know, and help everybody.
That is
Help
right.
everybody. And you just want to make a private vaccine and profit, no?
Yeah.
Like, would you make it accessible for every human on the planet?
I
You have fucking no job, man.
I think there is no solution at all. Like, I think we are the virus and we just have to eradicate humans. I think that's the only solution.
No,
Yeah.
there
Bro,
is
stay in
no
your red hole.
virus. There is
Not a
just
solution.
collective immunity that we all have to build, right?
Don't forget about the animals. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I think the animals were here before us.
it would be really better. I think HX and AZ, we can talk about this more. I mean, if we all bring everybody together with the animals again, then I think all the problems are, not there anymore.
Right.
Corona
You
also
don't
spreads
need
through
vac-
animals.
You don't need more vaccines. You need to free yourself, free your mind, right? YLL. You understand me? This is the art of thinking. Isn't
But
that
I like that, you know, like we are fuck the illness. We need the jobs and we need the money. You're right, HX.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
More people are gonna die from economical crisis than this virus. I mean, it's bad. But like, if you close stuff down for months, it's way worse than a few old people dying from the virus.
That is why we need to work on a solution first, and then we can start building up economy again. You know, that's the priority. And it doesn't matter if it's like private at first, and then we can see how we do it. But we need to get through this first.
Stop.
Yeah,
Just
of
stop,
course.
doctor, you are totally incompetent of telling us the truth. Only thing that you need is that your laboratory, your microscope. On your own, you are not able to do anything. You just need like numbers and stuff like that. I need the truth, and I need the truth now.
I think I'm better on my own than if I would work together with you. I mean,
no, it's
Proof
not
is in your
true.
bunker.
But
Go lock yourself down again.
HX, who organized the event that you went to, like the anti-corona thing?
School party.
Yes.
Yeah, it was me, right?
Who organized it?
I think it might be the same person who, like, I got this text message about like COVID death club and shit. Like, I think it's the same people behind this. Like, I think they're behind everything. They're behind the virus itself. They're behind spreading it. And yeah,
And the
And
lizard.
why should they do that?
it's. I think it's lizards.
I
Lizard
think
people
so
for
too.
sure.
I got the text message too. It's super weird.
Come on, concentrate on the basics. Don't you have some like? Why would you want to speculate on some conspiracy shit like you don't know? Those are all some weird sources.
It
Just
doesn't
concentrate
really
on
have
your
a.
own financial situation. I'm sure it's not hard for you. It's not easy for you too. Like people losing their jobs. Like how is this gonna help anybody to fucking spread corona or some lizard people? I mean, it's
Yeah, it's not gonna help anybody.
Yes, Anilex, I think you have to stop talking about lizards and just, you know, find a job or something.
I'm sorry, can you manage to
job
come
and
into our room, C9? C9, can you manage to come into a room first and not talk from the other room all the time?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can talk.
But I think this is as well the core, doctor, you know. We have to get back where it comes from. We have to look up to China. They like there is things going, you know. There is the real system going, right?
And there's a
this
lot
money.
of lizards in China as well. I think it could be Chinese lizard people actually.
What?
ZV, have you had experiences with lizards?
Is it the virus because I'm from China? You're so fucking racist.
Have you ever fucked a lizard?
Have you fucked a lizard?
I mean, I touched it.
well, I hope not.
I don't think can you be racist against a state that holds back information, that holds back medical data that would be important for finding a solution? I don't know if that's racist.
I just
Fucking invented the virus.
like everything that I like, and then you know.
Okay, guys, I'm finally in the room. Let's get back
God, you
to the
did it.
objects.
Fuck this project.
You know, the thing that we need to do really here is to start to think really, to connect the dots and realize that this is just all the way Dr. F, this psychologist, and those people, they are just trying to manipulate us. Don't you see that? We are just enslaved listening to the government and medicine people like puppets. They don't even know the truth. They just want to do their researches and things like this.
Just was you don't have to look at some lizard people or I don't know what. It was just Chinese just inventing this virus in the laboratory. They can do super strict measures because they're not a democracy and infect the whole world, and they want new global power.
I think it's actually a great product in the end, man. AG, you're right. It's a great product, you know. You just make yourself ready, keep it running, and then you're a winner. I think they totally knew that this is an opportunity.
Yeah, I think they had a plan with that.
No, we have to take the opportunity, like being together there. There's some potential. I can see some potential here. Like C10, you're up to something. I see that.
Everything he's up to is the capital. Money, money, money. This is all you guys care about. You are just like capital puppets.
Living in a dreamland.
That's not true.
Don't you?
We're giving people jobs. Like people have jobs, people can do stuff what they want, you know.
Exactly. And we help people, you know, with the vaccine. I think that's the best you can do at the moment.
I got a question for doctor. What about those vaccines? Why you just always have to vaccine somebody? Huh?
Because we need to hack the system. Don't you understand that?
You hacked the system like you hacked us with your 5G. It doesn't even work anyway.
Maybe not in your bunker. If you're down in your bunker and afraid of your lizard people, of course 5G won't
That's
work.
why I built it.
So, and how did you buy the materials? With like seashells, or were you with money?
Yes, actually, seashells are in fact more helpful against this flu you call corona than this doctor ever will be. Those seashells are really helping. Just try it, right? You love sea. You love sea, C1, do you?
What?
Do you love seashells?
Yeah, sure, but not. I don't like dead animals. I only love them alive. You know. I don't understand why you're all eating meat. I think that's because why you got sick. I mean, from fucking animals, you don't get sick. It's because they're dead. It's not good. The way we treat animals is just not good. We need to have them alive, and we need to take care of them. Then they can take care of us too. So that's the only way. And I talked a lot with my therapist about it, and I think she can understand me.
Can you maybe try to describe again, like, what's the difference between bonding with an animal and bonding with a human being? Like, what does it feel like for you?
That's so easy. I mean, I got never disappointed by an animal. Like humans disappoint you all the time. Like an animal is always there for you. You love them. They love you back. It's so easy. I mean, I don't know what you can't understand about it.
But CW, probably you want to get back to life. Do you want to fuck with people, probably?
I don't want to fuck people, and I also don't want to sniff ketamine from someone's asshole. I'm not a sicko like you.
It's not a problem, Anilax, but you want to come back to real life.
I'm not sure about that. Like, real life is hell, actually.
You only say that because you want a girlfriend and you can't get one.
Yeah, maybe, but it's only because of the fucking girls. Like, it's not my fault.
You think 1 week of workout gonna change anything? Get some protein cocktails, maybe ask C9, maybe she gets you a free sample, and like work out for like 6 months. Then you get some results.
But working out will not change your fucking bone structure, you know? Like, I'm not an alpha male, so I will never get a girlfriend.
But it will change your mind somehow.
Yeah,
it's not, the problem is not with me, it's with fucking females that only want alpha males and money. Don't you think so, C2?
What if you try to get a girlfriend?
You have to become a winner. That's the goal, man.
You just need to sell those protein
setup.
cocktails to the girls, and they will change their minds, and they will love you.
It's easy, C4. Like, life is meaningless, and you just have to enjoy yourself. That's, you know.
No,
that's
I think
how you
you
get a girlfriend.
to reflect on yourself as well. And I don't know, what if you try to get a girlfriend, for example? Maybe you have to try different approaches. Come on, come down, C3.
That's embarrassing. Stop it.
Come down. You know, I appreciate respectful conversation.
Yeah.
Communication.
Those shakes are helping everybody, you know, like C4.
But I would be interested, like, because I don't eat meat because I love animals so much. So maybe it's good for me to take protein shakes.
Totally, I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I think the best solution would be not to touch animals, like, because that's the reason we have that virus, you know. Don't you get it?
So you
said this is not true. Touching animals is essential for those energy, doctor. Why are you speaking always like this?
Virus might not show symptoms on animals. It might not even have negative effects on them.
Animals are the same creature as we are. They can feel pain when they are happy. They are also smiling. I saw this cat online today, and she was doing exactly this.
So in the end, like, the
like
protein
that.
is the real virus. Like, the protein is something what's gonna help us, you know. So
no,
maybe.
But we need
natural selection is what's gonna help us.
Hey, C10, can you explain your like business right now a bit? I would be really interested.
Me?
Yeah. What you said you're in vaccine business right now, and also
Yeah, like I totally see the protein being a vaccine, you know. If you don't eat meat, you eat protein and you get like the muscles and everything you need. And it's the business, you know. It's so
Okay.
simple.
So
Maybe
do
we
you have
don't
a
need no vaccine in
spot
the end.
now, or how does it
Fucking
work right
science is
now?
expensive, you know. We only need protein.
For
I'm
sure.
I'm
totally
not
with
sure if
okay.
that's the way it works.
You won't be able to sell stuff to people because they're fucking dying from corona.
But it's expensive. Just
But
go for like, you know,
you know, it's
selling more,
everything in
you
their
get more.
mind, and if
You all
they
just
get
want to hit the
protein,
people, I think.
Just stop. Just
No, I mean, we're all gonna die at one point anyway. Let's just enjoy maybe while we can.
yes, let's put
Yes,
our
you're
masks
right.
down.
No.
Yes, this is
Masks on. Let's enjoy ourselves with the masks on.
let's go free. Let's put the mask off and let's go to the street.
Probably
Maybe we should
no.
really go just out here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe we should just leave this fucking room and finally, like, yeah, get fucking out of here.
That's right. This is the one. Am I right?
You
but
really want
that's
to
where you
prolong the
have to
quarantine,
socialize,
don't you?
Anilux.
Huh?
That's where you'll have to socialize, Anilux.
Yeah, I mean, with outside, I mean my room in my mother's flat, so I can talk to my friends again, you know?
What kind of friends? I thought you don't have friends.
Like I have one friend, he's called Toilet Stock 69,
Cool.
and yeah,
What the fuck?
How about your family?
I think he might actually be here because like I've heard like C9 talking, but and
Your-
it somehow reminded me of him, you know, but I
Your
couldn't.
friend
I
is a
couldn't.
toilet.
What are you talking about?
You know, I feel some energies about this Anilax. I mean, yo, what's with your parents? I'm feeling something pressuring there.
Well, I mean, I grew up with my mother, and yeah, she always had a lot of boyfriends, so I don't really know my father.
So how was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like to talk about it, you know.
Okay.
Open up yourself to us. We are a helping group here. We need
We
to
all had shit parents, so I think you can talk about it. I mean, like,
Yeah,
We want to help you.
it's a support group. We're here for all of us.
Yeah, of course, it's not good to have a mother like this. And I think this might be the reason why I hate women so fucking much. Maybe I've learned something here.
It's good that you opened up, I think, and shared this with us.
Who are they? Did you just do you have this gift of playing Warcraft after maybe your parents? Did they just pass it on you?
Sorry, can you say it again?
Do you have this gift of playing Warcraft? Maybe from your parents? Who are they?
Maybe my father was a wizard. And that's why I'm so good in World of Warcraft.
Lizard. Your father was a lizard.
A wizard.
Your father was this fucking lizard you're talking
I also
about.
understand Lizard. And this is the major thing here.
You are behind all of this.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
We got
You
it.
fucking got me.
Yeah, we got it. You're behind everything.
Did your father start
Spreading it.
this huge party we went last week? You know this riot party? Was it your father? Maybe.
My father at the riot party?
Yeah, maybe. You know this anti-COVID-19. Have you heard this cool party? You know, last week. Maybe I was thinking, since he's a lizard wizard, maybe he would like. Didn't he organize this great action?
Holy shit! You might be onto something here. I think, yeah.
Can you
It
tell
could
me?
be my father behind all this.
Cut the crap. I mean, like, but did you receive like more emails from this COVID-19 club, or was it only one?
No, it was this one message.
Well, I got a message of some COVID incel club. I think I know who sent that one. That was weird.
What do you mean?
I got an SMS to join like a COVID incel club.
Yes, so did I,
Did you
and it is
join
fucking
it?
cool.
Yeah, so somebody here had to send it.
No, I didn't send it.
I'm
I also
definitely
just
not gonna
got it.
join that.
Why did I didn't like get a message?
Yeah, because you just want to be with animals. You're not gonna join any club with humans anyways.
Do you have a phone?
I tried.
C1?
Yeah, I'm not as stupid. Like, why shouldn't I have a phone, man? Like,
I don't know.
No, I try to really get rid of my addiction. It's not so easy, but that's why I am like yeah, doing therapy, and I think I also made some, yeah.
So
But
you
why do
want
you
to
call it
try to get
addiction?
away from animals, or what?
No, I mean I got into a lot of trouble because like people called me fucking animals, so I thought maybe I can like start over, but I still, I mean, I love them so much. I don't know what to do really, you know.
We stop fucking animals first.
Yeah. It's not so hard when you have an addiction. I guess you can talk about it as well with your wife.
No, I'm not the one with the addiction. It's just yeah. Just
You always can change one addiction to another addiction. It will be fun.
Well, I drink quite a lot of protein shakes, but that's not an addiction. I mean,
I think that's just some fucking bullshit. Like, how are you going to achieve anything with fucking protein shakes? Like,
No, it boosts your
finding about your bone
energy.
structure. That's what's good for your bone structure. You can buy some from me.
maybe if you would
Got
put some
some?
testosterone into it, I would be up for it.
All right, it sounds good. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do
I
this.
would do that.
It's not a big deal.
Hmm.
We can do this.
I would eventually buy it.
Can you please focus on the important stuff again? Like, fuck all that protein shakes. Can you focus on the vaccine again? I thought I convinced you already that this is the
Like
most
vaccine,
lucrative thing.
okay. Like you're not the only person researching that. I mean, they're gonna come out with the vaccine pretty soon, I guess.
I know, but I was really fast the last time. I told you already. I'm almost there. I only need some financial push.
Yes,
That's not a
fine.
big.
She just need more money. She wants money from face
We
mask.
all want more
She wants
money.
from vaccination. She even gets checked for this group, for this support group. Am I right? Is she? She wants money. For the
I totally understand. Like, there is no money with no business, you know. But I just would go, like, I would put it together, you know. Like doctor, there's like protein and the vaccine's probably the same thing, no? I mean,
No, we can't do that. We can't do that. You know.
I mean,
Why not?
Why not?
Bro, when did you had the last vacation? I mean, you just work. Your brain must be all capitalized. Am I right?
No, you're not right. Not at all.
And what you want vaccine for? You want just more vaccine. First, you vaccinated C1 into this animal lover that is just maybe too much in love with the animal.
I don't think
now
that
you want to develop this vaccine for this bird flu, or what is it? We don't need your vaccines. We have natural selection. Our body can fight.
So you don't care about that millions people die. You don't care.
And if you're like so into natural selection, why are you locked up in your bunker? Like,
That's
if you believe in natural selection, you should just like live normally and see if you like die or not of natural selection.
I don't care. I got my friends, Veronica, Simona, and Nina, And do they have a corona? No. Do I
Yes,
have
everybody
corona?
knows you will
No.
die first. You will die first, as everybody knows. That's the
Nina told
selection.
me that this thing
No,
doesn't
but-
exist, and I trust her. Okay, and I'm not sick myself. So stop. Just
Coughing all the time.
Well, I just heard you coughing.
Yeah.
this is not a
Obviously
coughing. I'm
not
just
working.
feeling bad from all
I mean,
those
it's the reason that we're all here in the Corona support club. Like, we all have Corona, so it obviously didn't work locking yourself up in this bunker.
Put your
Put
fucking
it on. Put your fucking mask on. Thank
Put
you.
the mask on and stop being a bully.
You start think freely, you puppet. I thought you were artist. Where's your free spirit? Where's your will to understand stuff?
Yeah,
Stop
maybe
insulting each other.
we don't want to be stuck in here forever, so just put it back on and stop it.
I am
Or
not
we just
sick.
fucking escape. Yeah, I think we should just all escape.
I don't think this is
God,
a part of a
luckily
support
I
group.
have enough of this. So I can cover myself.
We first have to get, we have to get like not sick again before we do anything, I think.
How come there's so many crazy people here? Is this like normal in Europe, or I don't know what?
Don't hate on us, man. We're
Yeah,
like a
we're
support
so
group. We
crazy
should
of
like
feel bad.
open-minded,
Like
like supporting each other.
You are fucking nuts. I don't know what.
You just want to make some business plans with C10, and you don't care about like opening up. This is like a support group. Like
because
everybody can say what they
like
want to say.
insane people here.
We're supporting each other. We got trying to get out of the shithole.
All help is too
Just
late.
try to make money.
It's too late for you guys. You can't be helped. You're already fucking nuts, and I don't want anything to do with it. I'm
sorry, Andrew, but you are not ready to hear the truth.
And you're just a fucking egoist. You didn't care about your family. You just fucked this girl from Italy. You didn't give a shit.
No.
That's right.
Who's the fucking egoist? Those animals can't consent, you know? You're a fucking egoist. I did this because I needed to put off some pressure in order to be a good husband and family father, you know?
Yeah, and I also don't just have to put off some pressure, like.
But I mean, men really have to put up pressure. You don't know how it feels to have balls.
Well, yeah, whatever.
That's right. You
Hey,
don't know
doctor.
how it feels. You don't know how anything feels. You are not ready to hear the truth. You just consume what this doctor tells you and stuff.
Hey, doctor, what do you need? Like, I think you just need a good marketing. This is everything.
I don't know. I think I have the context for it. The only thing I need is financial support, you know. I can do everything else, the research, all of this I can do myself. As I'm infected right now myself, I can do blood samples of my own body. If I have the laboratory, if I have everything, if I have the environment, I can do it. I can make it. I only need the money, really.
She doesn't have anything. She just needs more and more from us. She needs our samples.
But I can help humanity in comparison to you. You
Our
don't
chip
do
pattern. This is
anything.
all what she needs.
I think you could just go with me, AG, and OK, and we just do, you know, like we do a lab.
Yeah.
We find out. I'm up for it. You can try out with me as well. I don't care.
And all that bureaucracy stuff, I can handle it. I mean, I have the contacts. We can do this.
Let's make our own self-help group, like when it actually works, maybe.
If it's okay for you that you're anonymous investors, I mean, I can't put your name because of your history, but...
Well, I don't have much to invest except my workforce.
Yeah.
We can invest cocktails. That's not a problem.
I know how to do this. There's no problem. Keep it positive.
Okay.
I think it's time to finally escape.
Yeah. Back into the real world.
Yeah, the masks.
I just fixed my face
You
mask.
can put off your
But
mask.
you really wanted to
finally.
escape, HA.
Yeah.
Now get out here.
Surprise,
wait.
surprise! I haven't played anything.
So how was it?
I don't know.
You almost started a business.
That's true.
Yeah.
You achieved something.
I mean, you achieved something too. You had
Me?
some realizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. It
You
might
got
be.
somewhere.
Maybe we can start with talking about the goals. Like if you think if you achieved your goal, because I will explain to the public, like each of the character had a very abstract goal. 5 of them were
Individualist.
yeah, 5 of them were team individualists, five of them were collectivists, like trying to make a collective goal, and the other 5 were trying to achieve a individual goal. So maybe can you talk about the goals that you achieved or you didn't achieve?
I mean, I think like my character was so out there, like it was team individualist, but basically I just wanted to kill whole humanity. So it's neither, I would say.
My goal was to conquest you, but I think it's I could not do this.
Oh, and I also should prove that I'm better than C9 and C5. I mean, I tried to hate on C9 a bit, but C5 was actually, I don't know. I didn't hate you that much.
Yeah, well, my goal was to enlighten the lightness of being. And I think me and C3, I feel like we both tried to maybe do that.
Yeah, my goal was to make people feel good and happy.
Yeah.
But I guess like
Yeah, but it's not possible
Yeah.
actually in a way in these circumstances.
Yeah, there were some real party poopers. It's hard. It's not so easy to make them feel good.
But were you C5 collectivist or individualist?
Collectivist.
Okay, and C3 also?
Yeah, I think the goal of the collectivists was to basically make them feel good.
I was
to like lighten the mood and stuff.
Collectivist also, and my goal was to tell everybody how good interspecies love is, and so yeah, to make them understand about interspecies love. So I don't think that I got it, but yeah.
No, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. HX, I think. Were you collectivist or individual? You were individual, no?
No, I was collectivist. I just
Really?
my goal was to save you guys. My goal was to save you and to like stop thinking that this is real and the corona is hoax. And I don't know. I feel like I was not so successful from all those tryings I didn't find. I was a bit scared of C4 actually. When he was agreeing with me. I know we got like this thing together of free speech, maybe.
Yeah. We are all up for like conspiracy shit. That was our thing basically.
Yeah, but it was a bit like chilling when you C4 like started to like agree with me. I was like,
You were like, no, I don't want this guy to agree
and
with
then
me.
it came to the point where I was just like, oh my god, I'm losing now. And who can like join me? Which was like an C5, right?
What?
Which was like C5 should like join me into like helping people as well to understand like some alternatives of living, or I don't know.
Yeah, just being happy, life is meaningless.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the quest for C8 was to enlighten everybody about the lizard people conspiracy.
Was it really lizard people?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a side
Like,
thing
I
that happened in the
didn't know about the
conversation.
lizard thing.
Oh.
Nice.
But I just found out that your father is a lizard.
Oh yeah.
That was actually a really nice way how that part developed somehow. Like, yeah.
About me?
Yeah, the dad being the lizard,
Yeah.
organizing the rally, organizing the COVID call. Yeah.
And I think it's very interesting how it developed, like on topics. I don't know, like topics of interest as well. Like trying to discuss something that I mean, nobody had this topic of China, but it still came out and was discussed like 10 minutes or something about.
Yeah, it actually had a lot of like fusion with our like circumstances we're living in right now. No, like that just happened.
Yeah.
Was it C1? Was it in your bio that you were in China or not at all?
Yeah, but only that I grew up there and then that I escaped as soon as the virus. So it was not like a big thing.
Okay, because this is like kind of the only thing that made me thought of it in the moment.
Yeah.
At some point, I thought I have to hate on China because I identified as a Trump supporter.
I think your character would hate on China. I think that's alright.
Yeah. My quest was to secure my return to America. I think I got a step closer. Maybe I would have made enough money with protein shakes.
Yeah, I think that was the most productive.
Protein shake thing.
Like you were about to team up for some vaccine and shit. I think.
Yeah, that worked out really well as well. So I was team individualist, and my mission was to find more about the virus and develop a vaccine or something. And I think it worked out pretty well because I was up to convince like the people that were up to making money.
Yeah, you made it really hard for me this time.
But also C10 was like the quest of C10 was to make secure business, no, or something.
Yeah. But in the end, I thought actually it's more of a collective thing. I mean, I was an individualist, but in the end, like I found myself trying to put all the businesses together, and make one thing out of it.
And you were basically forming a collective, no? Kind of.
Yeah, but not intentionally. I just like thought, I can make more money out of this. So it's better when I just do more stuff together at once, which is kind of a paradox, but just like.
And C9 was also about making some business, but especially with Anilax.
Yeah, but he's a hard character. He's a difficult one.
I mean, we could have inserted some testosterone into the protein shakes. I would be up for that.
Yeah, we did.
You suggested that.
Like the quest of C9 was to convince Anilax to sell protein shakes.
Oh,
but yeah. It worked out also. It was a topic as well, and I think that's an interesting part of it, of the whole thing, that everyone is trying to achieve something, but it just becomes like a topic you talk about with other people. So the intentions are very difficult to achieve or to realize in these kind of conversations, and like kind of like everyone is himself also playing a character, and to get your meaning across and your real intention is very difficult.
I as well found that like the character definition is so much like pointed in a way that your age is more or less defined, so like there is as well like values you're associated with to a certain extent. Like I was much older than I actually am, and that made me shift like from my regular values obviously to like something else anyways, no matter what persona I actually am in the time. But just by this age I was like shifted.
Yeah, and I think that was also like a part of the key dramaturgy of the whole thing, that it was there are some characters that are totally absurd, but still there is personalities like this, like the incel, for example, like Anilags or like C9 or C10. C1 was also very hard to play, C6 as well, but I mean, we can identify probably more with C2 or C5 or something that is just like taking this whole situation of quarantine like easily or more like, well, I don't know how you all like are taking this quarantine stuff. Like,
I mean, we are not in quarantine anymore in Austria, basically. I think most people are based in Austria. And you can basically do what you want, like restaurants are open and shit.
Like Schmalzwabel opened again yesterday. It was crazy. Everybody was like there. I think like just going out drinking.
But did you go?
Totally absurd, I think. Like it felt very weird walking around in the evening and seeing like all the people outside with like, I don't know, friends at some bars. It's like super weird. I don't know.
But did you go?
What?
Did you go?
No, I went past it.
Yeah.
But is this going to be like sustainable?
I don't know, because it's weird. On the table, we don't have to wear a mask. And then like ordering our stuff, you have to wear a mask. I don't know.
And for going to the toilet.
Yeah.
Like I also had this feeling some time ago that the things are getting super absurd, like especially for example with the hobby markets. You know, I needed to get some materials and stuff for my work, and this was possible, but only like to certain definition. You know, like there was I don't know, Hornbach, whatever, was opened by like the specialists were, and even though they were selling the same stuff. So that was like totally absurd to a certain extent to observe this economical issue based on like a definition of who the owner is, even though the final product is totally the same or like really similar.
Yeah. But I think that, I mean, for me at least, it was very interesting to try this out with you all, because I mean, maybe the audience, I don't know how big the audience is, but at least Michael and Anna are like, it was kind of trying to channel this being trapped in your own flat with your own ideas, with your own achievements of life, so to say, and trying to, I don't know, live still in the social life in a way. So I mean, I think it was a very good exercise, at least for me, to play with you, because it was a play, it was a theater play, what we did. Oh, yeah.
It's really weird to, like, my character made me be upset all the time and somehow be pissed. Like I really had this sense of unrest. Like it was necessary to play this character somehow.
Especially yours. I think because in this situation, being American means something really, really different. You know, and I think that's the interesting stuff about it. If you try to see that whole situation from another perspective, I mean, it's really hard to do it, but like you can get a sense of it, how it must be to be someone else, not be privileged and sit in Austria or Vienna and like, you know, have healthcare all over the place, free.
Yeah, and each of the characters was trying to address like a problem, like, or like at least question we all have like nowadays, you know, like what about the incels, what about business, what about conspiracies, what about,
and also about the vaccine. I also realized that now, because I was like making business with with the business guys and people who have money, and I imagine it to be like this really. So if you are up to something, then you need to get investors and people who spend money on it. And then like you have to see what's more important, like to have money of the state or investors or who is investing and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, who is profiting from this,
Yeah.
this situation, no? Like which kind of characters? I mean, it's not about the person, but about the attitude of the people towards other people at all.
Yeah.
Totally. Like I was luckily just reading one as well. Why I said it's about like this hobby market, you know, and like market and stuff. I was reading one article yesterday, really by chance. And it was an example of two totally same businesses, and one like totally exploded, you know, because of this situation, and almost the same business like totally crashed. And it was just like a really kind of random circumstances that made it being like it is. Probably like the, I don't know, the place or being on a certain platforms or whatever. But that this is just like such a major thing, even though the reasons might be so minor.
I want to invite as well Anna and Michael, who are hosting this. Like if they want to join in the discussion, please do it as well, because I mean, this whole project started in the Chimera environment, and we were just basically playing around, thinking about projects, what to do, and we came up with this idea of doing a Chimera support group, a COVID-19 support group, because we thought we're not going to like be in the situation of it, and then like 1 week after that, it was totally it, and like we had to make this project into something. Like we were thinking about how to present it, and then there was this open call of Uroboros festival, and we thought maybe like we just like go with the flow of like time, I don't know. But before we engage in this discussion, I wanted to address as well C1, Nora. Like your character was probably the most controversial, like together with C4 and C8, like probably the most funny or something, like I don't know, like complicated in a way, like non-relatable, at least for us. And how was it for you?
Like as we did two shorter rehearsals, I think and now this, I think the reactions on my character were most of the time really different. And today I felt for the first time that a lot of the other characters are thinking that they're not really relating to me, or that they really think that I'm a perv. Because I think the rehearsal before, they all were kind of like really trying to understand me more, and that felt really good. So because I got forward in my mission, but today I was really also getting pissed because CH was like, yeah, she's weird in the head because of this vaccine, and C7 was like, yeah, she's crazy and blah blah blah. So that made it a little bit harder. But yeah, it was just really fun also to create the story about this kind of person, and yeah, because it's just like really weird. But what I think is also kind of cool about it, I mean, when it comes to social stigma, it was really funny to play a so philiac person and being so open about it, and that was kind of cool actually.
Yeah, you had no shame at all. Like it was good. Yeah.
Very descriptive. Also, that was
And it's funny because the character was just developed in a, like at the beginning when it was like the talk about, yeah, this new virus from China is just like coming from animals and blah blah, like joking around. Then they're like, imagine a character who is fucking animals, you know? He's like the total, like the most exposed than everyone. But at the end, it's everyone, and your character is not. I mean, it's not responsible for the virus. It's also probably not the most direct in contact, but still, in a sense,
like physically.
Yeah,
physically in contact, but yeah.
I as well feel like kind of that it's ridiculous that a lot of the characters got kind of fulfilled through the social media and various other media.
Yeah,
in
I
the
was
end.
like, this whole conspiracy thing, it was not such a big deal when we developed this idea of the play. And now it's like reality, like it's full with conspiracy theories about coronavirus, like the real life.
Yeah.
And also another thing, like when C8, like when she took off her mask all the time and we were like freaking out to put it on again. Like, I mean, this is also a reality, like, and how are we going to, like, I wonder if like masks will be established in like Western societies. Like, will they stay with us?
Like for supermarkets and metros, I think it's still gonna be a long time. But what I find quite interesting also is like, I don't think there's gonna be like a total split stop of this. It's gonna have to transcend somehow, and this transcending zone is gonna be, I think, very weird. Like not knowing what you're allowed to do or what you're not allowed to do, and then maybe shaming on other people because you're already doing it, and it's so weird, like this transitioning zone to getting back to normal.
But I think generally, I think this process to getting to normal again will happen quite quickly. I think people will get used to it quite soon again, like, you know, and
the second
getting careless again about stuff.
But I understand Tina as well, that it's like probably it's gonna be like a layer of judgment or something that you think that should be different, and I also don't want to go to packed bars right now. Like I would wait like at least 2 months or something. But you know, if a friend of mine is having a birthday or something and he invites me, then it's like I will go.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I already did, for example, go to a birthday with Julian actually, and at first it felt quite weird, but then it was like kind of okay because you already were allowed to meet like up to 10 people, and then it was like it was so weird to meeting people again and being like, okay, is this okay now or not? And then I don't know.
And especially when you're drunk, like you're more
Don't care.
careless, like yeah.
Yeah, you get careless.
Maybe it would be interesting to refer a bit to the topic of the festival as such, like to actually like this designing, you know, or like to achieving the goals, so to say, being referred as designing.
You should unmute yourself, Michael.
Yes. I'm following the. I have to say thank you. First thing, thank you. For me, it was like really it reflected the situation. I like how kind of messy it was. That it was all the time listening to somebody to catch who is who. You know, for example, my favorite was a lizard. I think I would say every time like lizard and shooting, pointing out to the lizard was perfect. I think that it very much reflects the situation. I'm so glad that you turned this into being a part of the festival, that it happened. Like for example, with us, when we choose the topic like designing in troubling times, we really had no idea about the COVID situation. It was still only in China, and we didn't think it's going to be global actually. And when we realized, actually, also reason why we turned online, it's when it started to be a problem, and we realized that we have to change something. So we went online. So everything completely like changed. I think I can say that we didn't know how to do online festival. Right now we are still finding out what does it mean when festival wants to be online. But for me, like the discussion you make, I think it's or the performance. But I mean the discussions within the performance you make are for me like very, very important, because I don't know if you will agree with this, but at some point I felt like in a discussion group, like therapy discussions, like therapy. This was my like overall feeling over what was happening, because I think also what is happening, the madness people are dealing with right now, that you don't know what is like, what info you should follow actually, what is the real actually about you were discussing, the face masks, yeah, and when it will be, if it will the new normal, it will happen as a new normal actually. And also like I'm asking the question, I'm asking like everybody, like when you will stop wearing it, that some politician will tell you like to do it, isn't it? This should be like your personal choice actually. And this is maybe what it should be. And with the festival we wanted to bring, because the festival should be about the speculation. So we just want to like think of what the futures can be, yeah, actually. And I'm very glad that you decided to reflect this topic. I can right now, this is the last day of the festival, I can see like how it affects everything, like everybody within their works. Just few artists didn't reflect it, but basically it's became a crucial part of what we do and how we do actually. And I think it will continue in many scenarios. And it was nice to see you to bringing these different scenarios, because that's how I see it. But this feeling of therapeutic discussion, like, yeah, let's talk about this way, we should like some things we should speak, like let's talk about it, because sometimes I think that we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny. Sorry, just fast comment. I think it's kind of funny that by coincidence, the Austrian minister, like the Ministry of Culture, that she like dropped it today, right? Or yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, like there was some package of like sponsoring culture going out. I'm just checking. It was yesterday. So like there was some package going out yesterday about like the donations, and how like the money that they have, the Ministry of Culture is going to be distributed in Austria. And she didn't have so much experience with culture
Okay.
zone. And immediately afterwards, like after she published it, she basically like got so much critique that she sucked herself. But in a way, like she still was, I still found her like really sympathetic and, I don't know, good politician. So I think it's kind of a paradox that
but I think it's a symptom, or as everyone here feels like overwhelmed by the situation. Like it would have been very different also if we just made this play about talking about our situation. But with this game of the characters, and by embodying like different perspectives, we could, I think, each of us a little bit go beyond our own personalities or our own situations to talk about the broader spectrum of what it means really to be in this situation. Like it's about trying to get your point, trying to follow what you've been doing before, as well as trying to follow some ideas that you have, like what do you expect from getting from this situation, how do you see it, like do you want to make some business, you want to help people, you want to make some good art, you want to make a festival or whatever, and I'm very thankful that we could present this in Uroboros, like in this format, because it just kind of fitted it like perfectly, like with also with this Zoom. I know, fuck Zoom, I'm saying it, like I'm showing the finger to Zoom. I'm sorry, maybe like the people watching it, but also like I'm like at the end, like we're feeding all these personalities to like global capitalism in a way. So also maybe like it's not worth it to speak about yourself in a Zoom meeting. So it's good to encrypt it in a way, and really try to find some meaning behind metaphor. How do you say it? Metaphors?
Yeah, I have to say, the first rule of the Zoom calls we find out actually is that you shouldn't talk about the Zoom within the Zoom calls, because basically when we're starting to do it, something just screw up, that completely. But once they introduce encryption, it's not happening anymore. So, so we will see if it's gonna be. You're completely right. Also, the Zoom with us, we were discussing a lot, and also taking the feedback from people, use it, what platform we should use. But I like the final decision was like that. Very much of the universities are turning into this, and mostly of the artists who participating are start to use to Zoom more and more actually. So this was the thing, and also the platform provides the thing. So I don't wanna like bring apologies. It was a collective decision. On the other hand, even with me, I can say, because I'm these 4 days, how long? I'm like 10, 11 hours online, but not just online, just surfing and doing my stuff, like very focused, concentrated on what is happening.
Showing your face.
Yeah, and I'm exactly, but also I'm feeling like when it stops, when, like, for example, we will stop this call, and then I feel like in reality, like, what the heck, Also, like, we had this workshop before you with one of my colleagues, and she was like, she couldn't talk. I wanted to do a feedback with her, and she said, Michael, I cannot do it now. I'm just like too overwhelmed, So it's like, and and I completely agree. It's unprecedented Zoomification of the life. And if Deleuze describes society of control in the way that that the corporation will erase your free time with your working hours. I think this is what is really happening right now. Actually, we don't know when the work starts, and we don't know where it ends. Actually, it's just everywhere, because it's everywhere. Actually, so we just confirm this control which is happening all around. Actually, and you said that it's Zoom, it's capital.
It's data. It's data, and
data.
But the interesting thing is, it's not only your face, your activity. It's also your thinking and your personality that is like being uploaded in a way. Like
I don't know. I also found it like super weird, because I had like, I don't know why, like super problems to get into this meeting. And
that's you. Hi.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah. No, and I just felt like super disconnected at that moment, and it really stressed me out. At like, I don't know, at this point that I was like, okay, fuck, like, it's like online everything, also with all my uni courses and stuff, and I'm normally a person that is more like there in person, and not that I don't like to like just chill online and stuff, and to be like, you have to be online to like get to know what's like happening and stuff. It's like really stressful if it doesn't work, and like there are troubles or something that you can't find out. And yeah, I don't know, I found it also weird, kind of like reality check, that this is like my actual reality right now, only like online.
Yeah.
But this is also like a paradox. Like sorry.
Super crazy, stressful. Yeah.
No, I was about to say, like, it's also like a paradox, because somehow, like, internet should easily make it accessible for everyone to connect with each other. And now you were in the situation where you just couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also the other paradox.
Martin wants to talk, I think.
Just wanted to relate, like Michael, I just wanted to relate to your issue of like the Zoom being kind of like supported by the universities, because I'm a bit like inside of like a art university politics, and we had like kind of this issue like discussed a lot in the beginning, and was like as well like, oh, actually, like what platform do we choose, or how does it kind of work? And like, of course, then we got like some security advice. It's like, what should we go for? But in the end, I thought like, no matter what, it would be anyway anyway, it's like best to kind of like swap, you know, all the time, like that everybody decides for him or herself, like how the how this education should be like taken further, or like this design process taken further. And since like that was not the case, and there was like this Zoom taken as like this ultimate like decision for the whole university, you found out like having like with a lot of various people actually a lot of problems in this like design processes, because some teachers, you know, were totally unavailable thanks to various reasons to like transport the knowledge that they have. So it doesn't matter so much that it's like an institution now, I guess, but rather like the design process for Zoom is not suitable for everyone. And since the institutions decided like, well, okay, Zoom is the only thing, some things just got like, some things that were amazing before got totally like nowhere.
Yeah, and it's funny because Michael and me had some conversations before, and we were thinking about how to stream it. And I mean, Zoom is a very hardcore tool. I mean, if I imagine like 3 years ago or something, it would be totally different, you know. Like also like it would be probably Skype sessions, like WhatsApp calls when they started or something. But for our like what we wanted to achieve with the backgrounds and stuff, like this immersion into data, so to say, it was like totally optimal this way, Zoom. And it's kind of hardcore that it's so efficient that even universities take it without thinking about what's going on behind it, or even if they do, then they just I mean, like us, you know, at the end, fuck Zoom again. I just want to show the finger like to Zoom because it's watching us, and it's just
Are we still live? Did somebody turn us off? No. Okay.
Yeah, we're live. We're live. But that's good. It's like the last performance of the festival, you know. At the end, you have to make your point.
Yeah, I completely understood, you know, but because as I said, like this unprecedented like Zoomification, I think it's same with like Facebook, you know, like let's be honest, you know, it's like for example, for me, when it all started, I remember myself, like everybody started to hook up with Facebook, and I was like, oh, and we were like, no, we will not use it. But after like I don't know, 2 years ago, I was pushed actually to start using it actually. And most funny situation was that I was last year working, for example, for institution, which is mostly about the security, privacy actually here in Czech Republic. And I was pushed by the institution, but pushed with the like really in big sense to use only Facebook. So I think like this is also like when we are talking about design thinking and processes, you know how to manage. So for example, this is my experience from the last year. It was like nonsense. Like I was like, what the heck is this? Like how come that I'm having this like talking about privacy, security, and just I'm pushed to use Zoom, to use Facebook, or now Zoom, you know. It's like, for me, this is very much about like decision process, like what will be the next, you know. And Zoom, who knows, you know. It will be like in 2 years, maybe that will be like, I don't know, like cool, yeah, because that's what will be like very actual.
But maybe we should already like close the session and finish this experiment.
I just wanted to ask if there is something on YouTube, like some comments or something. Maybe like we don't know.
I was checking. I didn't see it.
I think nobody commented. Like I was checking until the half, and nobody did. So I think it's not. But the archive will be.
Yeah. So you are archive guys. So from me, like thank you guys again. Thank you for being a part of Uroboros. I don't want to say the experiment, but of the Uroboros festival. We didn't imagine it this way, but like listening to you, listening to all of your like overlapped voices was just so strange experience, which for me very much reflected what is happening right now in my head, for example. So thank you for this. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being part of. I would just refer to Daniel that when we talk about the data, we have to very wisely decide like which data we want to be public and which data we want to keep private, and find the ways how to keep private. And this will be topic for this was topic. This is topic, and this will be very crucial topic because algorithms are learning from our data. So it's also this will be choice design about design process. What will be the next step? So guys, thank you all. Thank you all who watch us on YouTube, and have a nice evening. And I will ask Anička to finish the stream right now.